Good morning, everybody. We're going to start in a few minutes' time. So in the meantime, just grab a notepad and paper and get ready to ask me questions a little bit later on. And also, if you stick around, you'll also get the opportunity to get a mini card reading on where you need to go with your New Year's resolutions. So just sit tight. I'm going to share this live video in a couple of other places. So hi, Sabine. And we will get started. Okay. So I'm just sharing this live stream onto my personal page. We're just going to wait a few minutes just for a few more people to join us before we get started. This is also a good opportunity to grab some water to clear your throat. Right, so now we've done that, we can get cracking. Okay, so welcome everybody. Good morning. This is a Facebook Live on how to make New Year's resolutions in line with your soul mission. And this is part one of a series of Facebook Lives that I'll be doing throughout January. This one is focusing specifically on balancing your masculine and feminine. So if you're wondering who I am and what I'm about, my name is Natasha Bailey, and I help people prepare for their soul mission by getting balance in all areas of their life and with their masculine and their feminine. So today we're going to look at New Year's resolutions, and I want to bust a couple of myths around the useful ways to make resolutions and the less helpful ways. So we're going to start off with that. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk for a bit here, and I'm going to stop and then give you a chance to ask questions, as well as also do a mini card reading for you using the Caroline Miss card deck. It's called Archetype Cards to help you on your New Year's resolutions journey. So we're going to do these things. So yeah, I'll talk for about 5-10 minutes, and then I'll open up to questions from you. Hi, Tadea. Nice to join you. Happy New Year to you too. Thank you. Okay, so let's get cracking. A lot of people make New Year's resolutions, yes? In reality, what those resolutions tend to be is simply a wish list of, well, this is what I want. But nobody actually stops to think about, well, what is required to actually make these resolutions a reality? And a friend of mine reminded me the other day of a coach who really came up with a great attitude towards resolutions, and that's resolving them, actually resolving the resolutions, resolving what's behind you not achieving your goals, not achieving your success, not getting in line with your soul mission. So what do we know usually happens by mid to late January? You know, people have fallen off the wagon. Some things happen, and, you know, people have just given up on their New Year's resolutions rather than actually realizing this is when the real work begins. Actually resolving all the things that may have previously scuppered your plans or got in the way of achieving your goals, whether it's a stressor in life, or, you know, a toxic relationship, or some aspect in life that is just not working for you, but it's time to deal with that. So I'm inviting you, instead of simply making a wish list, I'm inviting you to make a decision. Make a decision to resolve whatever is not working in your life, so that you can fulfill your soul purpose. because when we get into alignment, magical things happen and we can create fantastic results in our life. Okay, so I'm going to share with you a really good formula for success. And it's called the be, do, have model. So if we are being the person that we need to be, and we take the action in line with who we are, then we're going to have what we want in life. We're going to get the results. So for me, this is very much about balancing the masculine and the feminine aspects within you. So being is the feminine, doing is the action taking. And together they create unity. They create unity and alignment. So when we are looking at New Year's resolutions, what most people tend to do is they just focus on the doing bit. So they create what we call SMART goals. Yeah. So SMART is an acronym for specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, time-based, meaning they get very specific about how they're going to achieve their goals. So I want to set up a gardening project within 6 months to teach the local community about growing their own organic vegetables. And I'm going to do this by writing a business plan in the first month, applying for funding in the second month, buying equipment in the third month, creating a shed on the fourth month. And, so they set very specific goals that are achievable. Some goals that might be unrealistic might be, well, I want to be a cosmonaut, but you're 60 years old, you've never done any of the training to lead up to being a cosmonaut. So maybe it might be more realistic to look at something that still allows you to enjoy your love of the universe and the cosmos without necessarily trying to force yourself to go into a cosmonaut program, which really requires you to join a lot earlier in life. So a lot of people get hung up on the do bit, setting these SMART goals, but they never stop to check in with themselves as to what they really want. And that's where the being bit of this formula comes in. Being means the feminine aspect, meaning getting in touch what truly juices you, truly makes you passionate, what you are truly in love with, and what you can envisage, actually kind of visualize that image of you doing those things, being the person that you need to be, and getting the results that you want. So a little bit about being. Most of us, remember a day where it was just a perfect day, where everything flowed, you felt totally like you could be yourself, and it was magical. What I'm saying is, it's possible to get more of those days more often. And by doing this, we really need to get into alignment with being the person that we need to be to get what we want. So what do I mean by this? Let's say we want to set up a business, yeah? So on the one hand, we're saying to the universe, yes, I want to create this business, I want to make this a success. But another part of you, that unconscious part of you says, oh, but can I handle it? Or will it be too much work? So then we block the possibility of that business either coming to fruition or being a success. So it's like this push-pull kind of effect where we're giving ourselves and the universe very mixed messages. You want the business, but you don't want this. So that way we kind of stunt ourselves from actually achieving our goals. Also, one aspect of being is we want to be able to attract the right people and resources into our life to help us along our soul mission journey. Because I'm going to be very honest with you. We do need people around us to help us along on our journey. And that's fine, because they're fulfilling their soul mission. They're helping you on yours. So we also need to be able to attract into our life the kind of people that we want to help us along. And this is also an aspect of being. It's an aspect of magnetism, of drawing into us that which we desire. However, if you have lots of, say, unconscious programming running, saying, I'm unlovable, or I'm not attractive, or who would want my services, then you're kind of going to block from attracting the people into your business or your life to create the results that you want, to create a customer base. So this is all about getting yourself into alignment, being the person that you need to be, without mixed motivations, without unconscious programs sabotaging yourself. Then coupling that with the action taking to create the results that you need. Now, hi, Richard. Now, one without the other doesn't really work. So let's say you are being the person in alignment, but you're not taking the action required to get the results that you want. Or you'll be massively in flow, but you'll be totally unfocused with no direction. So you're going to get very hit and miss results. You might attract a lot of people to you, but maybe not quite the people that you want. So it's lots of passion, but without the focus or direction. It's all a bit chaotic. Now, on the flip side, if you have the do bit, the action taking, without the being, then you have massive action taking, but you're not very passionate about what you're doing, and you'll probably lead to burnout. So that's not very useful either. So you're going to get burnout and with no passion. And even if you do get results, and you will get some results from taking action, it just might not be the results that really inspire you. So we need to be and do, be in our masculine, be in our feminine element, and doing in our masculine element. And together, that creates the results. Now, of course, you want to keep a journal or record of how you're getting along, so you can actually measure what is happening, what kind of results that you're getting. Okay, so I am going to open up to you guys to ask some questions before we draw some cards for your New Year's resolutions to see what you could be or do more of. So feel free to start typing your questions down below to ask what you would like clarified with what I've been sharing today. So I'm just going to give you a few moments to type your questions, and then I will answer them. In the meantime, I'm just clearing my card deck, ready to pull a card for each of you. Well, it's certainly a beautiful morning here. It's clear blue sky. So I'm going to thoroughly enjoy going for my little run after this little Facebook Live. Okay, so I'm not seeing any questions as yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to provide you with an example from my own life as to where I didn't get my be and do in line, and then what happened next, where I actually started creating more success in my life. So about 4 or 5 years ago, 2013, that's about 5 years ago. I can't believe it. Incredible. Yeah, about 5 years ago, I set up a spiritual weight loss business. And I really took massive action to promote a circuit class that I wanted to set up in my local area. So I went up and down the street. I spoke to all the locals, the whole community, and what happened? I got maybe one person showing up, and that person didn't sign up. And as I went on in my spiritual weight loss business, I was taking a lot of action, but I was getting seriously burnt out. And I was attracting a lot of people who wanted to lose the weight, but without doing the inner work. So eventually I realized, you know what I'm more passionate about is actually coaching people, doing healing work on people, rather than doing more of the sort of personal training side of things. And that's why last year I created Soul Mission UK and let go of my spiritual weight loss business. So since I got more into alignment of that, I'm enjoying what I'm doing more. I'm getting more customers. I personally am getting more results for myself in all areas of my life. And this feels much more in alignment with what my soul mission is about. So that's an example of where I align myself more to what I was more passionate about, what I felt good about, and reduce the amount of action taking. So I've now got to the point where I don't allow myself to burn out. I always allow myself to stay in a feeling good place. So that's an example from my life as to how you can get your masculine and your feminine a lot more in alignment. Okie dokie. So I can see now that Richard has posted a question here. So Richard's saying, helping people with exercise lose weight or helping people with coaching healing? Yeah, that's right. For me, I realized I was more excited about helping people change their life, get on their soul mission purpose, rather than the losing weight. Yeah. So for me, I wanted more of the personal development work, the inner work, because I realized, as in my situation, as soon as I started doing more inner work, then I lost weight. So I used to be a big girl, and for like 10, 15, 20 years, I kept trying to lose this weight, but I kept trying to fix my outsides first before my insides. And it was only when I made that switch for myself that I got those results. So I hope that answers your question, Richard. So for now, I want to ask, who would like a card to guide them on where they need to be or do more to get onto their soul mission and achieve their New Year's resolutions? If you want a card, say yes. Just type yes, and we will pick a card. So just some information about this card deck. Caroline Myss is a famous American author who works very much with archetypes, the energies, the being and the doing energies of you, the masculine and the feminine energies of you, and who you need to be in order to get the results that you want. So this is a fantastic card deck. I've used it loads this time of the year, and I just kept picking the medicine woman, the healer card, the priest, priestess card, and I realized, okay, I need to be shifting myself into a different alignment here. So I can see a couple of people saying yes, they would like a card. So we'll start from the top down. So Richard Stanley. So I want you to focus on some aspect of your life that you want to get more into alignment with your soul mission. And asking the question, who do I need to be or do in order to get the results that I want? Okay, one card has already come up. Okay. So I'm gonna pick two cards actually, because I feel like there's a follow-on from this one. Okay. Okay. So we've got two cards here. We've got the Liberator and the Scribe. Now, each card shows you the positive aspects of the energy and the negative aspects. So this is the light side of the energy and the shadow side of the energy. So I'm going to read both out to you. So the Scribe, the light attributes behind the energy of the Scribe is preserving knowledge and information. The shadow aspect is altering facts or plagiarizing other people's work. So the positive aspect of this is ask yourself, what knowledge and information do I already have that I can use now, that I can use in this particular situation that I am in? What knowledge and skills do I already have to help myself in this situation? Because we all have knowledge that we can share with other people to benefit others. Also, have a think about the shadow attribute. Where do you need to acknowledge other people's work more, or information, so that you can integrate that and bring that more into your life? Okay, so the Liberator, that was your second card, the Liberator. So the Liberator, the energy of the Liberator, the light attributes are freeing yourself and others from outmoded beliefs, releasing negative thought patterns. Now, I happen to know that Richard is really good at doing this. So combining the two together, if you use the knowledge that you already have to help yourself in the scenario that you are in your life, i.e. liberating yourself and other people from outmoded beliefs and negative thought patterns, then you're going to get better results in this particular area of your life. Now, the shadow side of the Liberator needs to be acknowledged and resolved. The shadow side is imposing your own tyranny over others that you claim to liberate, ignoring legitimate constraints. So what this means is, we may, for example, if you're running a healing business, you may want to help others, yes? But we may get into a mode where we impose our will on others, or we impose that a process has to be a certain way to get results. And then we may either choose to ignore the other person's free will to make their own choices, or we may impose ourselves on them or force them to do something that they don't want. Or we may ignore what limitations or constraints they have at the moment and try to push too hard. Yeah, so this is about taking gradual steps that take you a little bit out of your comfort zone, but not so far out that it's kind of unrealistic to expect yourself or the other person to go from A to Z. Maybe just go A to B and then B to C. So this is very much about using the knowledge that you have to liberate yourself and others, but in a step-by-step process. Because sometimes we can go too far the other end. So for me, very much the Scribe here is the masculine element, knowledge, knowing. The Liberator is knowing how to harness your energy, the feminine aspect, to do good, to infuse your energy upon others in a positive way. So hopefully that makes sense. Okay, Richard's giving a smiley face. Thank you, Richard. Okay, so who is next? Sabine. So Sabine, I want you to think about the New Year's resolution or situation or the aspect that you want us to focus on here today. Okay, already getting one card. Do we want another card? Yes, I think we're going to pull 2 cards for each of you, just so that we get, you know, a being aspect and a doing aspect, the masculine and the feminine. Oh, right. Quite a few fell out. Let's see. Okay, so we've got a couple of extra cards here. So Sabine, I want you to pick the extra card. Number 1, number 2, or number 3. Please type. Okay, so we picked your card. Brilliant. Okay, so we've got the rebel and we've got the pioneer. So I'm going to explain the rebel. The rebel is the one who challenges authority to effect social change and rejects spiritual systems that don't serve inner needs. The shadow aspect of this is the rebel rejects legitimate authority out of anger and rebels out of peer pressure or fashion. The second card is the pioneer. The pioneer, the light attributes of the pioneer energy is passion for doing and creating what has not been done before. Exciting. The shadow attribute is a compulsive need to keep moving on. So let's look at these each in turn. So the rebel is a very energizing kind of archetype. It's here, you're here to change the way things are. You're here part of the ascension process, and you're here to shake things up. So this is a fantastic energy to work with, especially at this time. The challenge for you, though, is to make sure that you're coming from a place where you need to ask yourself the question, for what purpose, intention, or agenda am I doing this? Am I, for example, wanting to change the world because I can see some things need changing, and I'm willing to work at this and chip at this over a period of time to get the result? Or are you coming from a place of hurt or anger where you're just trying to get back at some authority figure for some possible past previous hurt? So I'm going to use an example from my life. I used to be a human rights activist for a good 7 to 10 years. So I was very much part of the anti-globalization movement, and I could see there were many things wrong with the world. However, what I soon realized is when I was with my activist friends, a lot of the time the anger would be coming from a place where people were trying to resolve some childhood trauma with a particular authority figure through the activism. Now, I'm not saying that activism is a bad thing. There's very good results, but it depends from where you're coming from. So if you're not getting the results that you immediately are hoping to create, and it's upsetting, ask yourself, where is the upset coming from? So make sure you're coming from the right agenda. Okay, so this feels very much the masculine card. So make sure that your focus and direction is coming from the right place. Now, the pioneer. The pioneer energy is all about, and it's perfectly linked to the rebel, because you've come here to create something new in this world. And you want to provide some kind of knowledge, idea, or information that's going to be completely different. The challenge is not to keep trying new things, them not working and dropping it. The challenge for you is to pick that one thing that you're really passionate about and spending, time, actually giving commitment to it to see how the results will be over time. Nothing is created overnight. So allow yourself to choose something that you're really passionate about and go get them. Go and challenge the authority from a good place, So this is your being and doing for your New Year's resolution. I hope that makes sense for you. Let me just check. Did anybody want another card? I'm just going to scroll up to see Who wanted? Okay, Tadea, you're the last person to get a card reading, and then we're going to wrap this up. So Tadea, I want you to focus on the New Year's resolution that you want some guidance on, and balancing the masculine and the feminine aspects. Oh, hi, Vanessa. Nice to see you. Hi, Gary. Lovely that you could join us. So what we're doing now is we're picking a card for a reading to help people with their New Year's resolutions. Okay, so I've had a couple of cards fall out here. Right. So we've got the dilettante and the exorcist. So before you start spinning your heads round and round, wait. Energies that Tadea needs to inhabit more of in order to fulfill her New Year's resolution, first of all, is the energy of the dilettante. So the dilettante, the light aspects of this energy is delighting in the arts without having to be a professional. And the dilettante alerts you to any danger of becoming superficial about what you're trying to achieve. The shadow aspects is a pretension to having more knowledge than you actually possess. So this is about enjoying something for what it is, and also being aware of where you may need more knowledge, or where you're making more claims to knowing or being or doing more than what you actually have experience in. So it's getting the right balance, and it's possible. You know, you can always share what you know or who you are with people, but being clear about where you're coming from, and not sort of being more to them than they can actually expect from you. So the other energy is the exorcist. Now, the good aspect about the exorcist is you can free yourself and others from destructive impulses. So if you see this image here, it looks like a shaman. So you have this capacity to, like Richard Stanley, you have this capacity to free people from their blocks and their destructive impulses. So that's very useful skill to have, especially when we're going through so many planetary changes. Now, the shadow aspect of this is not facing your own demons. So in the work that we do, we always need to be aware of, you know, before we can help others, we do need to do that inner work on ourselves and help others based on the learning and the experience that we've gotten. And actually, this is going to be a lifelong thing, because there will always be something coming up that needs to be cleared, resolved. And actually, this is going to be really useful to kind of improve on the dilettante, the knowledge side. Because as you do this work more and more on yourself, exercising your inner demons, you will gain the knowledge and experience through your own journey to be able to help others. So, yes, definitely the dilettante feels like more of the masculine energy, pursuing knowledge, gaining experience, focus. And the exorcist is very much working with the energy, the feminine aspect, working with the clearing side of it, working with the energies. So I hope you found these card readings useful, and the talk I gave about balancing your masculine and your feminine. And please feel free to leave comments down below. I will be doing more of these Facebook Lives. This is the first in a series of 11. all about New Year's resolutions and how to really ensure that your being and your doing is in alignment. So if you want to be notified of future Facebook live events, just like this business page, and join my mailing list. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Right, it's a lovely day. I'm going to go and have a little run and enjoy the sunshine. Much love to you all. Take care. Bye-bye.